When firefighters entered the burning house, they spotted a tiny kitten hiding in the smoke. The poor thing was shaking with fear. But how did this fire even start? Just minutes earlier, everything in the house looked normal. A family was sitting in the living room while the children were playing nearby. The kitten was wandering quietly across the floor. Then suddenly, one of the children pulled down an extension cord. Sparks flew from the socket, and the fire quickly began to spread. The family rushed outside in panic. But no one realized the tiny kitten was still inside. Back inside the smoke-filled house, firefighters carefully moved through the flames. Then they heard it, a faint cry. Moments later, they gently lifted the frightened kitten and carried it outside. Cold, scared, but finally safe. Sometimes, even the smallest lives need saving.
This puppy showed up at someone's door, and no one knew why. It kept scratching, looking back like it was trying to say something. It wasn't just asking for help, it was trying to show something. The moment the door opened, it ran, like it wanted him to follow. And that's when he saw another puppy, injured, barely moving. And suddenly, everything made sense. It wasn't asking for help, it was saving a life. Everyone walked past, but no one helped this kitten. It was stuck cold and slowly losing strength, until one man finally noticed. He stopped, looked closer, and realized the kitten was trapped.
We'll get you. Just hold on.
Without thinking twice, he rushed in and pulled it out gently, carefully, like it might not survive. And in that moment, everything changed.
In the middle of the rain, a tiny kitten was trapped in a twisted wire fence. Scared and helpless, the little kitten kept crying for help. Luckily, two kind people noticed the frightened kitten and carefully began cutting the tangled wire. After a few tense moments, the tiny kitten was finally free. They wrapped the kitten in a warm towel and gave it food. After the rescue, the little kitten was finally safe. Now she runs and plays happily in the park. And in the end, the kitten walked over and hugged the leg of the person who saved it. Because sometimes a rescue turns into a forever friendship.
The storm had been raging for hours, and in the middle of the flooded riverbank, a small puppy was fighting just to survive. Without hesitation, the rescuer rushed through the mud and rain, carefully lifting the frightened puppy out of the water, finally bringing him to safety. At the rescue shelter, the puppy was dried, warmed, and given food and water. For the first time in hours, he was safe, but something unexpected happened. The little puppy didn't want his rescuer to leave. Sometimes, a rescue becomes something more. That day, the man didn't just save a life. He found a best friend. This tiny kitten was left alone in the rain, cold, wet, and crying for help. Trapped inside a broken cardboard box, the little kitten had nowhere to go, but then a small puppy heard the desperate cries. The curious puppy walked closer and realized something was terribly wrong. Instead of leaving, the puppy ran back home. Moments later, it returned with its owner. When they opened the box, they found the weak kitten shivering inside. The tiny survivor was gently wrapped in a warm towel and brought to safety. Soon the kitten was drinking milk again, and the little hero who saved it stayed right beside its new friend. Sometimes, the smallest heroes have 4 paws.
At the bottom of a muddy construction pit, a tiny kitten was trapped and scared. It tried to climb the slippery wall, but every attempt ended the same way, falling back into the mud. Hearing the desperate cries, a construction worker climbed down into the pit. Carefully, he reached out and lifted the tiny kitten to safety. Cold and exhausted, the little kitten was wrapped in a towel and gently fed warm milk. Days later, the once helpless kitten was running and playing happily again. And soon, the rescued kitten found something even more special, a loving home and a new family. One small act of kindness can change a life forever.
This tiny duck was trapped, hanging helplessly in a net, struggling to break free. It kept trying, but the more it moved, the more it got stuck. Then, something unexpected happened. A small white cat noticed the cries. Instead of walking away, the cat stayed, watching, understanding. and then trying to help,
I'm getting you out.
jumping again and again.
Almost there.
It refused to give up. That's when someone finally saw what was happening. They rushed in and carefully began to free the duck. Slowly, gently, until it was finally out. Safe, and no longer alone. And the little hero who stayed the whole time.
It looked like a normal evening. The cat was sitting quietly near the door, completely unaware of what was about to happen. Then suddenly, a bear slowly pushed its way inside, locking its eyes on the cat. For a moment, everything froze, but then chaos broke out. From above, a parrot flew in and started attacking, flapping wildly and making loud, sharp noises. The bear got confused, stepped back, and hesitated. The door burst open and the owner rushed out. That one moment was enough. Grabbed the cat and pulled it to safety. The bear backed off and disappeared into the dark. Sometimes survival comes down to one unexpected hero. This looked like a normal backyard until something dangerous showed up. Out of nowhere, a leopard jumped in and went straight for it. But then something unbelievable happened. A tiny cat ran in and stood between the puppy and the leopard. It didn't back down, it fought, and somehow forced the leopard to retreat. The leopard escaped, the puppy collapsed on the ground, and seconds later, the owner rushed in, picked it up, and carried it to safety. Sometimes the smallest one is the real hero.